In this lecture, we are going to cover the debug console gizmo. Note that this differs from the in-world console that you have, and this focuses on the gizmo itself. The debug console gizmo provides access to debug console logs. It allows you to start, stop, and reset your world whilst you are in both in edit or visit mode. You can also have it enabled whilst you are in a published snapshot of your world. It also enables you to view the debug logs in a world while in preview or visit mode. So let's go ahead and drag and drop it into our world. We'll go into build, then gizmos, and then we are going to find the console gizmo. So debug console, there we go. We're going to drag and drop it into our world, and by default it is really small. There we go. It is really small, so we are going to scale it up to, let's do 3 across the x-axis and 3 across the y-axis. Actually, maybe even bigger. There we go. Let's do something like 8 units. Let me keep it 1 on the Z. The reason I don't scale it on the Z-axis is because we don't really need to affect that axis. That doesn't change anything. It just gives you a bigger sort of bounding box, which you could argue is a downside when scaling it up. So there we go. We're going to debug console. We're going to bring it back up against this wall. And then instead of just changing the visibility in edit mode only, we're going to extend it to edit and preview mode. We can ignore the client smoothing for now. And if I jump into the world, we can see that both in edit mode and in preview mode, we've got access to this debug console. By default, the console will be empty, except for a few buttons at the top, which match up with your controls at the top. We can start the world, we can stop the world, and this refers to the world simulation, as opposed to entering and exiting the preview and build modes. And then we can also reset the world whilst we are in preview mode. We can also search for console logs here. We can clear the console, and anything that we log to the console using TypeScript will also be visible in this console. It's very similar to the console that we have here at the bottom in the editor, but as I mentioned, this is available in both edit and preview mode. But more interestingly, we can also have it enabled in our published world. So say, for instance, you feel like your world is ready to be released to the public. You want to test it out and see what the players will see, but just in case, you might want access to the console logs to see if any errors or warnings come up. That is when you'd use the visibility in published world. Then you'd go ahead and republish your world, and then you'll have access to your errors, warnings, and logs somewhere in the world. Because, as you know, by default, when you are in a published world, you do not get access to any of this interface, be it on the web, on your mobile, or even in VR. It's a very powerful tool to make use of. We'll go over in more detail on how to actually log to the console when we cover the TypeScript scripting section, but for now, you can see again any errors that might crop up in your world. And it's also nice just to reset the world simulation every once in a while if you want to start your world from sort of a fresh perspective, if that makes sense. So say, for instance, I am interacting with these elements which were made in our previous lectures, and then all of a sudden I want to reset it. I can go here, go ahead and reset. So you pick the reset to their original positions, and all of the scripts which I may have had will also be reinitialized and call their pre-start and start methods. But yeah, that is all there is to cover for the debug console for now.